أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Sorry, very sorry for the delay. Had few challenges to solve, but I'm sure I hope you're still here, and inshallah we'll get on with the class. How was the week? As always, I usually ask you this question. So I hope your week went well and everything was okay, and you managed to utilize it to the fullest. We have done quite a lot so far. We have done 3 families, and in the last class we did a lot of intensive practice on the surf, which inshallah is going to help you out. Going forward, what we were going to do is we're going to continue the learning of the families, and we will, of course, keep on doing the practice as well. I'll keep on giving you the root letters so you can practice yourself, inshallah. And going forward, things will become much and much clearer, especially when we start to learn how to use the dictionaries. So you need to know how to use the dictionaries, because dictionaries will help you understand not just the surf, but what it means in a different family. So every family with the same root letter may give you a different meaning. So learning to use the dictionary is important. And these dictionaries that we're going to learn, inshallah ta'ala, they are going to be classical dictionaries, not really word to word. They're very, very classical dictionaries, authentic, and they're available online and offline if you want to buy them. So inshallah, we're getting there, and we'll learn the dictionaries once we have done the first 9 families. And we start the dictionaries before we do the family 1, or during the time when we do the family 1. Okay, so inshallah, let's kick off the class, and let's take it from there. I still, as always, I have my phone in front of me. If you have any messages or questions, please pop them onto the WhatsApp group, and inshallah I will be able to see them and hopefully also answer them. And hopefully, inshallah, the engagement will stay alive and we'll keep on moving forward, inshallah. Everything we're doing is for the sake of Allah, inshallah. Okay, so and Allah will inshallah help us with that. So let's begin. Let me share my screen with you, and we take it from there. Give me a second. Here you go. You should be able to see my screen in a minute or in a few seconds. Okay, so you should be able to see it now. I have it in front of me on my phone. I am also attending my own live lecture. It's weird if you attend your own live lecture, where you are a teacher as well as a listener. So that's weird. But anyway, okay, cool. Let's start. Let's begin, inshallah. So what we have done, let's do a very, very quick review of the families that we have done. So we have done 3 families. Families and surf. That's what we have been doing. So a little bit of smaller font size. Okay. So what we have done so far, we have done the family 2. We have done family 3. And we have done family 4. Okay. So in family 2, we said there's a shadda on the second root letter. Okay. We said there's a shadda on the second root letter, and we said present tense begins with U sound. U. Okay. U sound. Not just you, of course. In the second person it would be tu. The point is it's U sound. So let me write that way instead of writing this. U sound. Okay. So the template word, the template root letters were was allama yu'allimu. Allama yu'allimu. Allama yu'allimu. Allama yu'allimu ta'liman. That's complete up to the masdar part. Allama yu'allimu ta'liman. That's what we have done so far. Okay? Allama yu'allimu ta'liman. That's the template we did. Then we moved on to family 3. In family 3, we said that there is an extra alif after the first root letter. After the first root letter. Okay, you with me? So there's an extra alif after the first root letter. Great. And we said present tense begins with U sound, just like the family 2. Okay, and there was a template. Template what was the template? Jahada yujahidu. Remember? Jahada yujahidu. Yujahidu. And anyone remembers the masdars? Jahada yujahidu. Jihadan. Jihadan. Wa mujahadatan. Wa mujahadatan. Mujahadatan. Okay. So it had 2 masdars. Yes, it had 2 masdars, if you remember. Jahada yujahidu jihadan wa mujahadatan. So let me make it explicit here. Has 2 masdars. Has 2 masdars. Okay. That was the template. Jahada yujahidu jihadan wa mujahadatan. This was the template, but that we did in family 3. Then we did the family 4. Okay. In the family 4, we said always starts with the. We said it starts with the hamza. It starts with the hamza. Present tense starts with the u sound. With u sound. That's like family 2 and family 3. In present tense starts with the u sound. Okay. And the template word we did was, what was the template? Aslama yuslimu. Aslama yuslimu. Yuslimu islaman. Islaman. Okay. Aslama yuslimu islaman. That's the template we did. We had an exception in this case. So we did the case of Amana. Case of Amana. Yes? Remember that? We did the case of Amana. In the case of Amana, we said 2 hamzas together become Amad. We said 2 hamzas together become Amad. Right? You remember that? 2 hamzas together become Amad. In case of Amana. So example of this was Amana itself. Yes? Okay, good. This is what we did. And we said that in the past tense passive, The Hamza vowel is usually replaced with a normal vowel. For example, in the past tense passive, instead of writing umina, umina becomes umina. Subtle difference, very subtle difference. Okay, so you replace the Hamza vowel with the normal vowel. Okay, so we replace the Hamza with a vowel. And the case of present tense, this was the past passive. This is the past passive. And in the case of present passive, we said it can be written both ways. It can be written both ways, like yu'mana or yu'mana. In case of present passive. You with me? Remember this case? Great. And then in the case of Famina, we had the command. We had the command which was Amen. Amen was the command. But reminds me that we also did a command, a special command. The command in this case started with Hamza with the kasra. Hamza with the fatha. And the example we did was aslim. You with me? Aslim. Oops. Sometimes I start typing and I'm not watching the screen, so that's what happens. Aslim. Okay. Aslim. Okay. So if you went through the proper command development process, then we would normally not get aslim, because there is no concept in command process that tells us to put a fatha on the helper alif. But in this case, we did not have a helper alif. We had a helper hamza, and we had the helper hamza. We put the fatha on it. Okay, that's what we have done so far. We have done family 2, family 3, and we have done family 4. And after that, we did a lot of practice. We did a full class on practice. I brought you some Quranic examples, and we did the practice. We did the sarf of the words from some ayahs that brought together all these families. And I did ask you to do one of those exercises at home. So inshallah, if you had time, please, I hope you have done it. If not, please do it, because that's only going to help you. Today we will talk about the family 5, inshallah. So today is the day of family 5, and family 5 is very easy family, especially after you have learned the family 2, because it's quite similar to family 2 with some differences. Okay, so I have brought in here the family 5. Okay, so let's start with the family 5. Bismillah. So family 5, what family 5 tells us? Family 5 begins with an extra tha in the beginning. Extra tha in the beginning. Begins with an extra tha. With an extra tha. It begins with the extra tha. Okay? That's one of the differences. It begins with an extra tha. Even in the case of past tense, you will see the past tense in family 5 beginning with a ta. Right? We'll see some examples. So normally, if you see anything beginning with a ta, you would say, oh, it's probably some present tense in the second person form. Anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna. But in this case, a past tense can also begin with a ta. We'll see a few examples, and how the present tense looks like. We'll also see those examples, inshallah. Okay, so that's one of the indications of family 5. It begins with an extra ta. Always begins with an extra ta. Now, the second point, it has a shadda, just like the family 2. It has a shadda on the second root letter. It's the same thing, like family 2. Okay, like family 2. Allama yu'allimu. It had a shadda on the second root letter. But this family also has a shadda on the second root letter. Okay, also has a family. It also has a shadda on the second root letter. Okay. Third characteristic of this family. First one was it begins with an extra tha. The second was it has shadda on the second root letter. Third characteristic is the fatha meaning the zabar. The fatha dominates the present active forms, active, present, and past. Active, present, and past tense. I'll explain you what that means. Okay, it dominates. What that means is, if you remember, allama yu'allimu. Yu'allimu. Let me show you here. Allama yu'allimu. You had a kasra here. Yeah, you had this kasra here. In case of family 5, you will not have this kasra. All the way it will be fatha until the end, because end is u sound in present tense and a sound in the past tense, as we know. Only the family 2, 3, and 4, begins with a u sound. Okay, keep that in mind. Only the family 2, 3, and 4 begins with u sound. Any family from family 5 to family 9 do not begin with a u sound. They don't begin with a u sound. It gives you a good indication. If you see a u in the beginning, a u sound in the beginning, it's one of the first 3 families we have done. Family 2, family 3, or family 4. Okay, so in this case, the fatha will dominate. There is not going to be a kasra. When we see the example, it will become clear. It will become clear. Okay. The masdar, the last thing, the masdar follows the pattern. The masdar follows the tafa'ulan pattern. You see? Tafa'ulan pattern. Okay? So, 4 indications of family 5. It begins with an extra tha. It has a shadda on the second root letter, just like family 2. The fatha dominates the active, present, and past. Active, not action. Active, present, and past. In the passive case, it may be different. Okay, we will see this. And the masdar follows the fa'ulan pattern. Tafa'ulan pattern. Okay, let's pick up an example. Let me pick a template word root letter. Let me pick fa, and qaf. Fa, and qaf. So what we are telling here is we're saying it begins with a tha. extra tha, even in the case of past tense. And what I'm also telling you, that it does not begin with the oo sound in present tense or past tense. It's just the family 2, 3, 4 that begins the present tense with oo sound. So tha is there. Okay, there's gonna be tha here. Okay, there's gonna be tha here. Okay, now we need to bring in the root letters. The first root letter is fa. Okay, the first root letter is fa, and we know the present past tense usually starts with the fatha, like nasara. Okay, and we know this family brings a shadda on the second root letter. The second root letter is ra, so shadda is gonna come with a fatha because it's a past tense, just like the way we normally construct nasara, allama. Yes, and the last root letter is kaf, tafarraqa. Tafarraqa. Now, if you had seen this tafarraqa before knowing family 5, you would immediately say, oh, okay, it starts with the ta. It starts with the ta, so it could potentially be present tense. Could potentially be present tense. But if you look closely, it ends with the a as well. You could, if you try to map it to the present tense, anta version, it would be tansuru, isn't it? It would be tansuru. It ends with the o sound, but this ends with the a sound. So you would say, okay, probably it is light, tansura. Okay, if it is light, then I can put a fatha. Those types of confusions can happen if you do not know family 5. Okay, now that you know family 5, this is a past tense, and you know this tha is an extra tha. It is not part of a root letter. You just do not come to a conclusion very quickly that this is a present tense, even if you find ta in the beginning. If you find ta in the beginning, you must think and assess and evaluate and analyze the word, what construct it is taking. Okay? So this is the past tense huwa version, tafarraqa. Tafarraqa. Okay? Now let's do the present tense. Now we know present tense huwa version starts with a ya, don't we? It starts with a ya. And we know only the 2, 3, and 4 family starts with oo sound. Starts with oo sound. So this cannot start with oo sound. We also do not know any present tense that begins with a kasra. In the entire present tense chart, we have not seen a present tense that begins with a kasra. Okay? Only in the command case, but we are not talking about command here. We're talking about present tense huwa version. Okay? So it will begin with the fatha. And we said that in this family, the fatha dominates. That means things are taking fatha more than usual. Things are taking fatha more than usual. Okay? So now, this is how the present tense begins. Okay? This is how the present tense begins. Now, we have now constructed the beginning of the present tense. This is an indicator that this is a present tense. Now, we will construct the word itself. And in this family, the word begins with what? Begins with ta. It begins with a ta. And it takes a kasra, it takes a fatha because the fatha dominates. And we go the way we were going in the past tense case as well. The first root letter is fa. The second root letter is ra, and we know this family brings a shadda on the second root letter. Yes? It brings a shadda on the second root letter. Okay? And from the present tense case, we know it ends with u in a huwa form. Yansuru. Yes? It ends with the u, so we're going to put a dhamma on it. Okay? I'll let you absorb this. Let me say that again. Yatafarraqu. Yatafarraqu. Meaning the first ya is the ya of present tense. It tells you the present tense has begun. The second ta is because it belongs to the family 5. it brings the ta before the first root letter. You can't do this. You can't do this. For example, if you're thinking it begins with a ta, so it should have been tayafarraku. If you're thinking along those lines, tayafarraku, because we are saying it begins with a ta. It begins with a ta. So this statement is usually said for the past tense. This statement is said for the past tense, because when you have a past tense, you can always make it a present tense by putting a ya in the beginning. Okay, so tayafarraku is no word. This is wrong. Tayafarraku is not a word. It's wrong. Okay, this is wrong. Don't go that route. Don't think like that. Okay, so what we are saying is the ya actually gets attached to the form present tense, past tense gave us. Past tense was like the farraqa, then we know just like nasara. What you do is yansuru. You attach a ya in the beginning of the past tense, isn't it? So here the first ya is an indicator. It's a present tense. Then comes the ta. That's where the family indicator comes. This ta is the family indicator. It indicates this belongs to family 5. Okay, and then the 3 root letters fa, ra, and qaf, and we know fa is the first one. The fatha dominates, so we're gonna write the fatha on the fa. We know ra is the second one, and we know fatha dominates, and we also know there's a shadda on the second root letter. So we're gonna write shadda and the fatha. And we know the present tense ends in an u sound. It ends in an u sound. Yatafarraqu, nasaru. Yes. Tafarraqa, yatafarraqu. Tafarraqa, yatafarraqu. Tafarraqa, yatafarraqu. You see what I mean? So far, we have applied the first 3 indications. These 3 indications. Okay. So the fatha dominates in both the cases. There is a shadda after the second root letter in both the cases, and the past tense begins with a ta. Therefore, the present tense introduces a ta in the middle somewhere. And in the beginning, the present tense brings its own indications with a ya. Yes? You with me? Great. Excellent. So let's go forward with the masdar. Let's go forward with the masdar. Let's go forward with the masdar. So what is the pattern masdar is taking? What is the pattern the masdar is taking? The masdar is taking the fa'ulan pattern. The masdar is taking the fa'ulan pattern. Okay, so we know the masdar is taking the fa'ulan pattern. This first ta is because of the family. Okay, and then fa'ala, the fa, ain, and lam, these are the root letters. And we said alif can never be a root letter. Okay, so in this case, the, then the first root letter, oops, here, then the first root letter, and then we have a second root letter with the shadda and the u sound. The second root letter in our case is ra with the shadda and u. Tafarru, and then we have lan, ulan. Then we say tafarruqan, tafarraqa, yatafarruqu, tafarruqan, tafarruqan. You see that? You see the construction? Once you have done this, you can produce, inshallah, the entire chart yourself. Okay? These are the 3 core elements you need to remember. Okay? The past tense, the present tense, and the masdar. The past tense, the present tense, and the masdar. Okay? The past tense, the present tense, and the masdar. Tafarraqa, yatafarraqu, tafarruqan. Tafarraqa, yatafarraqu, tafarruqan. Okay, then comes the ism fa'il. Ism fa'il. What we did in the past, we said we take the past tense, not the past tense, sorry. We said that we take the present tense and we replace ya with a meme. With a ya with a meme. If I do this here, if I do exactly this here, okay? If I do exactly this here, okay? If I take this and I remove the ya and replace it with the ma, okay? And I make it heavy, just like I used to do. Remember in the first three families? Matafarruqan. This is wrong. This is not the case here, okay? This is not going to be the case. This is wrong. Do not do this, okay? You don't take a present tense in this case the way I have taken right now and create an ism fa'il. There are a few subtle changes you need to keep in mind, okay? And look closely what I'm doing now. Okay? Look closely. Hello, I hope you can hear me now. Something happened. So what usually happens is, let me tell you that. So we're facing a lot of problem when we run this online session with Google YouTube online streaming service. Sometimes it just signs out itself. So when the class is going out, it just signs out. When it signs out, the session expires, and we have to relog in and then resume the broadcast. And when that happens, you suddenly stop seeing anything. Okay, so suddenly voice goes away, screen is not shared, and you may think what's happening. Okay, so if that happens, please do stay tuned. Don't go. Just know that we are fixing it. This is not a problem on our side. This is a problem that we have from the service itself. So please do stay tuned. And I'm sorry that the flow was disturbed. I'll go back a little bit and then start, inshallah. Okay, so let me share my screen with you and let's go back to the class, inshallah. Okay. Great, excellent. So let me just do this again. So what we were saying that we will not take the present tense the way we normally used to take and just change the ya to the meme and make it heavy. This was what we did in the family 2, 3, and 4. In this case, it's a bit different. So I'm taking the same present tense. Now listen carefully. Now I'm taking the same present tense. I'm removing the same ya. I'm doing the same exercise. I'm also introducing the meme, just the way I did. Everything is the same. But this time, I'm not giving the same haraka as we have on the ya. On the ya, we have a fatha. On the ya, we have a fatha. I'm not giving this fatha. Instead of that, I'm going to give it a dhamma. I'm going to give it a dhamma. Okay? The ism fa'il will start with a dhamma. Okay? Ism fa'il will start with a dhamma. Now, if you remember the ism fa'il of this family too, allama, yu'allimu, ta'liman, fahuwa mu'allimun. Mu'allimun. There is a kasra. There is a kasra on the root letter having a shadda. Yes? There is a kasra on the root letter that has a shadda. That's the same story here. You change this fatha into a kasra. You change this fatha into a kasra. Mutafarri. Mutafarri. And then you make it heavy. Okay? Then you make it heavy. Mutafarriqun. 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 You see what I did? What I did was, let me construct this again. Okay? See that again closely. I'm going to construct this again for you. Okay? So you understand this. This is the present tense we had. Yatafarraqu. Yatafarraqu was the present tense. We replaced the ya with the meme, step 1. Instead of the fatha on the meme, we gave it a dhamma, step 2. It starts with the mu sound, u sound. We went to the root letter with the shadda on, and we changed the fatha to the kasra. We changed the fatha to the kasra. Okay? And then we went in the end and we changed it to heavy. Mutafarriqun. Yatafarraqa, yatafarraqu, tafarrukan, mutafarriqun. This is ism fa'il. Mutafarriqun is ism fa'il. You see the pattern? Mutafarriqun. Don't lose this. Okay? Inshallah. Tafarraqa, yatafarraqu, tafarrukan, mutafarriqun. Okay. Alhamdulillah. Moving to the past tense passive. Past tense passive. What sound does the passive begins with? In the past tense, we had longer oo sounds and then one kasra. Remember? We had oo sounds and then kasra. So we're going to put a kasra right in the middle where the shadda is. Everything before it turns to oo sound. Everything before it turns to oo sound. So it would become tufurruku. Tufurriku. Tufurrika, sorry. Tufurrika. Tufurrika. Longer oo sounds and one kasra. Ending does not change. Tufurrika. 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 Longer dhamma in the beginning and one kasra where the shadda was. Okay? And ending does not change. In the case of present tense, it's easier. You know that it starts with the oo sound. Starts with the oo sound. The ya would change into you. Okay? And we also know that that the fatha dominates anyway. In the passive case of present tense, you normally change the kasra into the fatha. Like allama yu'allimu. Yu'allimu has a kasra. Yu'allimu has a kasra. Let me give you an example here. What you did with yu'allimu. What you did with yu'allimu. So yu'allimu. This is family 2. Okay? This is family 2. Yu'allimu. You had yu'allimu. Okay? And what you did, you made it a passive. How did you make a passive? Yu'allamu. You changed the kasra into a fatha. That's what you did for the passive construction. And that's what we have done in almost every family we have done so far. We changed the kasra to the fatha. And we know it starts with the oo sound. Yes? That was the format of making a present tense passive. But in this case, fatha already dominates. The fatha already dominates. So what should we change? There's nothing to change, really. So you just begin it with the oo sound and everything remains the same. يتفرق. يتفرق. Now, do you see the subtle difference? يتفرق and يتفرق. Check out this subtle difference. One haraka would completely change the meaning. One haraka would completely change the meaning. It completely changed the tense. It completely changed the tense. In the past tense case, there are more visible differences, right? Tafarraqa and tufurrika. It's a very visible difference. But in the case of present tense, it's a very subtle difference. Okay, so it can change a meaning completely altogether. The difference of active and passive, you remember? In the active case, you know the doer. The doer is inside. There is a hua inside, or there could be an outside doer. But in passive case, the doer is unknown. The done to is known. The done to is known. Who the action influences and impacts is known. Okay? So if you just change one haraka or read it differently, instead of reading yatafarraku, you read yutafarraku, you have actually changed the meaning. So you have to be very careful. Okay? Now masdar remains the same, takes the same pattern. Tafa'ulan pattern, it becomes tafarrukan. 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 Okay? Now, isam maf'ul. Isam maf'ul. What should we do in isam maf'ul? Isam maf'ul is easy. Isam maf'ul is easy as well. Okay? It's pretty easy. Now, in case of isam maf'ul, you can make it isam maf'ul very easily. What you need to do, all you need to do is effectively remove the ya and change it to meme. It's already a dhamma, so you don't need to worry about the haraka. It's exactly the same haraka. It's the same haraka. Okay? And you, in ism maf'ul, we always had a fatha. We always had a fatha. It was like mu'allamun, isn't it? Mu'allimun was the ism fa'il in family 2. Mu'allamun was the ism maf'ul. In this case, you also have a fatha, and that fatha is already there, so nothing much to change. So you just make it heavy. Mutafarraqun. Mutafarraqun. Okay? So there's nothing much to change here. There's nothing much to change. In case of our present tense, it was a different story because we had a ya beginning with the fatha, and then we had to change the ya to meme, but also change the haraka on it. So we made it a oo sound. Okay, we made it the oo sound. But this is not the case here because the ism maf'ul we usually derive based on the passive. We have a passive, we usually use the passive as a help and derive ism maf'ul. And in this case, passive anyway begins with a dhamma, so we just took dhamma. Mutafarraqu, and passive has a fatha in the middle. And also ism maf'ul also takes a fatha. Ism maf'ul also takes a fatha. Okay. Remember these subtle differences. In the present tense case, you had a fatha, but you changed it to the kasra when you derive the ism fa'il. Okay, and in case of passive and ism maf'ul, you just change the meme, change the ya to the meme and made it heavy. That's it. Okay. Now command. Command. Let's construct the command. Let's construct the command. So command can be constructed. Let me increase the font size here a little bit. Okay, the command. for family 5. Command for yatafarraqu. You guys are now seniors, so I can write yatafarraqu, okay? I'm not gonna write family 5. Yatafarraqu. Yatafarraqu. Command for yatafarraqu. Okay. Increasing the font size. So the first step, what was the first step? To make the command for yatafarraqu. We have yatafarraqu. First, you need to translate the yatafarraqu into what? You have to transform it into the anta version, isn't it? Anta version. In the anta version. So what would be the anta version? If yatafarraqu is a huwa version, what is the anta version? Tatafarraqu. See that? Tatafarraqu. Tatafarraqu. So you change the ya to the ta. That's it. That's it. Everything remains the same. Tatafarraqu. Then you make it lightest. Then you make it lightest. Tatafarraq. Tatafarraq. Then you make it lightest. Okay? Then you make it lightest. And then you remove the ta. So the first ta is gone. You remove the first ta. And it becomes tafarraq. Oops. What am I doing? Tafarraq. And here's your command. Here's your command. Tafarraq. Tafarraq. You see this? Any confusion? Pretty simple, isn't it? It just follows the same process. I can read it after removing the ta. I do not have a ta that came from the anta version. The first one, I've removed it. Tafarraq. Now, if you had seen tafarraq before learning about the family 5, you could have said, okay, this is starting with a ta. I forgot the haraka here, sorry. Let me put the haraka, tafarraq. Okay. You could have said this starts with a ta. This is starting with a ta. So it has to be present tense, which is correct. And then you could have said, okay, it's lightest. So some of the lightest harf should be before it. And then you go and find the lightest harf before it. And if you did not find the lightest harf before it, then you would say, oh, okay, so what is making it lightest? Then you would end up assessing it as a command. Okay, but you will get confused that if it is a command, there can't be a ta. Because in the command process, we remove the ta. Okay, we went here, we change it, the ya to ta as a first step. Okay, then we made it lightest in the end. Okay, and then we remove the ta. And then we remove the ta, isn't it? That's what we did. So if you still see a ta, and if you still see lightest, and you don't see any harf making it lightest, you will get confused. You will say, okay, there is no harf that I know that is making it lightest, and it has a ta, so it cannot be a command. There is no la before it, so I can call it forbidding. What is it, effectively? What is it? Okay? You will get confused. And now that you know family 5, you know, oh, okay, the command in family 5 may still begin with a ta, because this is a ta of family 5. This is a ta of family 5. It's not the ta that is indicating the present tense anta. Yes? Great. Now, forbidding. Forbidding should be easy. La tatafarraq. Because in the forbidding case, we just don't remove the ta, do we? We just make it lightest. La plus second person lightest. So what is the second person? We just made it here tatafarraku, we just say la tatafarrak. La tatafarrak. That's the forbidding. La tatafarrak. Any confusion? Should not be. It's pretty simple. Let me label this one family 2 so you don't get confused when you read later on sometime. We'll just call it family 2. It's family 2 example. This is a family 2 example. A family 2 example. Okay, shall we move on? Great. So, in case of ism zarf, وَالظَّرْفُ مِنْهُ, there is no difference than the ism maf'ul. It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. Mutafarraqun. 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 Okay, it's exactly the same. There's no difference, just like previous families. Okay, it's exactly the same. Let me underline them so you know. Okay, they're exactly the same. So let's recite the table together once. Tafarraqa, yatafarraqu, tafarruqan, mutafarriqun, tufurriqa, yatafarraqu, yutafarraqu, tafarruqan, mutafarraqun, tafarraq, la tatafarraq, mutafarraqun. Okay? Tafarraqa, yatafarraqu, tafarruqan, mutafarriqun. Tufurriqa, yutafarraqu, tafarruqan, mutafarraqun. Tafarraq, la tatafarraq, mutafarraqun. Okay? Good, alhamdulillah. So let's pick another root letter. Let's pick another root letter. Which one? Which one should I pick? Let me pick this one. Fa, Kaf, and Ra. Let me pick this one. Fa, Kaf, and Ra. Okay. Fa, Kaf, and Ra. So let's construct this table again with Fa, Kaf, and Ra. Let me look at some Quranic examples, inshallah. Okay. So I want to construct this table again. Okay, let me just zoom in here. Okay, great. Fa, Qaf, and Ra. Fa, Qaf, and Ra. So that's what we're taking. Fa, Qaf, and Ra. This is what we're taking, okay? So now we know it starts with the family 5 starts with a ta, with the fatha, and fatha dominates. And then we have the first root letter, which is fa, the fa, and then we have a second root letter with the shadda. Yes, it has a shadda on the second root letter, the farra. No, fa, kaf, and ra, not ra and kaf. The second root letter is kaf. The shadda on the kaf. The fakka, and the last root letter, the fakkara, the fakkara, the fakkara. Yes. Present tense. Does the present tense start with a U sound? No. It starts with a fatha. Fatha dominates everywhere in the present tense. Ta of the family 5. Sorry. First, ya of the present tense. And ta of the family 5. Then the first root letter with a fatha. the second root letter with the shadda and fatha, and the last root letter with u. Yatafakkaru. Yatafakkaru. The present tense ends with u. Yatafakkaru. Tafakkara yatafakkaru. Tafakkara yatafakkaru. Masdar. What was the form Masdar was taking? It had a present tense. It took the tafa'ulan pattern. Tafa'ulan. Tafa'ulan. Let me write here. You may not be able to visualize. Tafa'ulan. This is the pattern, right? So if you use this pattern and make with these fa, kaf, and ra, what would you make? You make tafakkuran, isn't it? You will make tafakkuran. Make tafakkuran. You with me? You with me? You'll make tafakkuran in this case. Okay, so this is just a template, not part of this. Don't confuse it. It's just a template. Okay, so I'm just writing here so you know. Okay, which pattern? Which pattern? Tafa'ulan would become tafakkuran. Okay, tafa'ulan becomes tafakkuran. Okay, this is the pattern it is taking. Now we had to construct the ism fa'il. What we did was we took the present tense and we did some changes. The first change was we replaced the ya with the meme, but put a dhamma on it, and then everything was smooth until we hit the shadda. Mutafakka ku or ki. Mutafakka ku or ki. Ki kasra. Kasra. Mutafakkirun, and we make it heavy. Mutafakkirun. Mutafakkirun. Tafakkara yatafakkaru. Yatafakkara yatafakkaru. Tafakkuran. Mutafakkirun. Okay? Mutafakkirun. Now the past tense passive. Longer u sound and one kasra where the shadda is. Longer u sound. Ufukira. 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 And present tense passive. One u sound. It begins with u and then fatha dominates. Fatha dominates. The difference was very subtle. Remember? Only the first root letter, ya and you. Okay? Yutafakkarun. Because the passive in any case takes the fatha in the present tense, right? And ending doesn't change. Yatafakkaru. Yatafakkaru. The only difference was the first haraka. The first haraka. Then you have tafakkuran, the way you did above. Tafakkuran. Any confusion so far? Tafakkuran. That's the masdar. Tafakkuran. Ism maf'ul. Ism maf'ul was easy. We took the passive present and we just replaced the ya with the meme and made it heavy. Mutafakkarun. 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 This is ism maf'ul, the recipient of the action. The recipient of the action. Okay. Now command. Shall we build the command? Let's build the command. So we're clear. Command. Command for yatafakkaru. Yatafakkaru. command for yatafakkaru. So how do we build the command for yatafakkaru? We have yatafakkaru, then we make it the second person. We make it into a second person, anta, which is going to be tatafakkaru. 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 Then we make it lightest. Tatafakkar. Tatafakkar. Then we remove the ta. And it ends up with tafakkar. Tafakkar. Yes? You see that? Tafakkar. So the command is tafakkar. Tafakkar. Okay? That gives us forbidding as well. In the forbidding, we go up to this point. Up to this point, yes? We don't remove the ta in the forbidding, but we do make it lightest, right? And we put a la before it. So we say la tata fakkar. La tata fakkar. La tata fakkar. That's the forbidding statement. La tata fakkar. And we said zarf is exactly the same as ism maf'ul. There's a mistake and no one told me about this. Mutafak. There's shadda missing. Okay. Mutafakkarun. 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 They are exactly the same. Okay? They're exactly the same. Okay? Tafakkara, yatafakkaru, tafakkuran, mutafakkirun. Tufukkira, yutafakkaru, tafakkuran, mutafakkarun. Tafakkar, la tatafakkar, mutafakkarun. Okay? Excellent, alhamdulillah. So look at this for a while. Look at it. Take some time to just digest all of this. This is not difficult. This is easy. This is still easy. Okay, it's not difficult. You just need to practice. So there are so many root letters here. Just choose few and practice. If you don't practice, you will find it difficult. But if you do practice, you won't. So please practice, practice, practice. Practice is your solution to your problems. Practice is the solution to your problems, nothing else. You only have to practice. Okay? You only have to practice. And inshallah, it will only help you, no one else. You will practice for yourself. Okay? Please don't stop practicing, because the practice is only going to make it better for you, inshallah. So if you practice, it will become better for you. Okay? Without practice, you will find it challenging. But with practice, inshallah, it should be all fine. With practice, it should be all fine. Okay? So you have everything in front of you right now. Hopefully. So you please spend some time thinking about it. So family 5 begins with a ta, has a shadda on the second root letter. It has shadda on the second root letter, and the fatha dominates in the active present and past tense. Now you know why I said active, because in the passive there's anyway a fatha. In the passive present tense, there's anyway a fatha. And in the passive past tense, here we do have a kasra, we don't have a fatha. But the fatha is really dominating in the present tense case. Okay, it's dominating in the present tense case. So you have to take note of that. the masdar follows the fa'ulan pattern. Tafarruqan, tafakkuran, all of that. Okay? Good. Alhamdulillah. This is a very interesting family. After knowing this family, inshallah, you will not get confused, because just because something starts with a ta doesn't mean it's a present tense. Okay? Just because something starts with a ta doesn't mean it's a present tense. It could be other. It could be other. There could be other possibilities, just like this. It could be a past tense. Okay, so the remaining root letters that you have above, all of these things, all of these, okay, the ones that we have not done, please practice. Take them, practice, build these charts. Fail 15 times, 16 times, you will do it right, inshallah. But put the practice in. Allah is looking for your pursuit, your effort. Your result is less important. Put some practice in it. Put some effort. Take some time out. Dedicate some time. Stop sleeping after Fajr. It's going to be difficult, but you will get used to it. And once you get used to it, you will never want to sleep after Fajr. I'm telling you, that is one of the most productive times you have. You remember when we were kids and you used to have exams, you used to tell to our moms, "Mom, could you please wake me up early in the morning so I can study? And I can just memorize something, or I can study, I can practice for my exam." Yes, because that's the time which is, Allah has put barakah in that time. The time before and after Fajr is absolutely a wonderful time. Look at Ramadan, mashallah. In Ramadan, the Sahur, the time of Sahur, is such a wonderful time. You are so much fresh, and your brain is so much working at that time. You just need to have this intention and this desire to put forward your first step, and then start your pursuit, inshallah. Allah will open things for you. Don't give up. Just Allah will open things for you. Trust me. If you don't practice, if you don't put pursuit, you're not going to be able to do anything. Okay, so please put some effort in it, pursuit in it, and inshallah Allah will make it easy for you. And do not expect it to become easy day one. It's not that, oh, I did the Fajr and I did not sleep for one day, and I did try to make the chart but I couldn't, so it's not happening for me. Don't think like that. Consistency is important. It's very, very important. Consistency. When you want to test a student, if he's doing good in maths, you just don't take one test. You take repeatedly some tests so you can be sure the student really understands. If with one test, it's just probably he did great at that time, but next time he might fail, we don't know. So you want to reassure. So Allah wants your consistency. If you keep your pursuit alive, if you keep your consistency alive, Allah will help you. Don't give up. Okay, please put some effort in it if you really want to do this. It's not difficult. It's very logical. There's nothing difficult about this. You just need to understand the patterns. Arabic is a very, very mathematical language. Okay, it's a very beautiful, structured language. Allah says in the Surah Yusuf that I've revealed this Quran in Arabic language so you can understand. Okay, so you can understand. I don't know if I have the Quran in front of me. I can open the Quran and show you the Surah Yusuf ayah that I'm referring to. So what I'm trying to tell you is, don't give up. Just please put some effort in it, put some pursuit in it. And I didn't have to open this app. I could just go to the Tanzeel. Yeah, of course. Yeah, sure. Go to Tanzeel. You don't have to open the app. What is happening to me? Surah Yusuf. Okay. Inshallah. Which ayah was it? I need to remember. I think it was 9. So ayah number 9 in Surah Yusuf. Surah Yusuf ayah. No, okay, Surah Yusuf ayah 9. I think so. It was mine. Or something around it. Let me just dig out. I want to show you that really, so I will show it to you. So it is Surah Yusuf, ayah number. No, it's not 9. It's before it. It's before. I think it's ayah 2 or 6. Yeah, exactly. So look at this. Inna anzalnahu. Inna anzalnahu. Now look, this is going to be exciting. Inna, you know, inna and na. This is the jumla ismiya, harf of nasab and the attached pronoun. Anzalna, starting with a hamza, sukoon on the first letter. Anzalna. This is family 4. Aslama family. Aslama yuslimu. Anzala yunzilu. Anzala yunzilu. Okay, this is family 4. Qur'anan. Qur'an, indeed, we have sent it down. The Quran. We have sent it down. The Quran. Arabiya. As an Arabic Quran. Look at the translation. La'alla. La'alla. La'alla was a harf of jar. Yes. Inna anna kanna biyanna layta lakinna la'alla. No, sorry, harf of nasab, not harf of jar. La'alla, as though, so that, right? So that you, ta'qilun, understand it. Indeed, we have sent it down as an Arabic Quran that you might understand. Okay? So what effectively Allah is saying, that if it was not Arabic, you probably will have difficulty in understanding. You understand my point? Please put some effort. It's easy. Allah will make it easy. This is His promise in the Quran. He's telling you that. Okay? So put some effort. Don't give it up. Okay? Let's go back to the class. Sorry for my tangent. I just went on a tangent altogether. So some Quranic examples. Let me give you some Quranic examples. So before we close the class, inshallah, we'll move it on the second page. So we are okay. Okay, let me give you some Quranic example. Increasing the font size. You can see easily. Okay. Great. Okay, coming here. Yatakallamu. If I show you this yatakallamu, yatakallamu. Is this family 5? Is this family 5? If you did not know family 5, how many letters are you looking at? You're looking at a ya, you're looking at a ta, you're looking at a kaf, you're looking at a lam, and then you're looking at a meme. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you need to tell me which are the 3 root letters, because root letters are 3, isn't it? What we are doing is the words with 3 root letters. So which root letters would you say? You could discard, okay, say, okay, ya is a present tense, I know. It can't be a root letter. So I can discard the ya part, fine. This is not a root letter. Ta, kaf, lam, mim. Okay, so there are 4. Which one should I choose? You would be confused because you won't be able to choose. You say, oh, which one is it? And why should I discard any of these? I don't know. What is this word? It doesn't even have 3 root letters. It's probably 4 root letters. All I can do is identify ya as a present tense. And yeah, that's it. And which ones should I throw out? Okay, probably I should also keep meme, because present tense needs to end with a u sound, like yansuru. So meme is part of my root letter. That's all I can make sure of, yes. But what about ta, kaf, and lam? Which one should I throw out? You can't. You won't be able to analyze this word as a present tense clearly if you do not know family 5. Then you learn family 5 and say, oh, okay, this ya is a present tense, I understand. This ta is basically coming from the family 5. Because in family 5, the words start with a ta. And it is not family 2, although I see a shadda here. It can't be family 2. Why cannot it be family 2? It can't be family 2 for two reasons. First, the ya doesn't start with the u sound. The beginning is not u sound. In family 2, the present tense starts with the u sound. This does not start with the u sound. And in the family 2, the shadda had a fatha or a kasra. Shadda had a fatha or a kasra. It had a kasra. Allimu. Allama yu'allimu. Yes, allama yu'allimu. This one has a fatha. So it can't be a family 2. So all indications tell me that this is a family 5. This is a family 5. Okay? This ta tells me it's a family 5. Then it's this shadda with the fatha tells me it's a family 5. And ya is the present tense ya. And after that, you can say, okay, because ta is coming from the family 5 and ya is coming because it's a present tense, therefore kaf, lam, mim are my root letters. You understand? Good, alhamdulillah. Let's look at the second example. Well, we just did this. وَإِن يَتَفَرَّقَا. وَإِن يَتَفَرَّقَا. Okay, we did tafarraqa yatafarraqu. Here, we did this. Tafarraqa yatafarraqu. This one. Yatafarraqu. Okay, we just did that. Yatafarraqu. Now, if I had to take this yatafarraqu, and I have to construct the pronouns, the sarf kabir. If I had to construct the sarf kabir, wait a sec. Okay. If I had to construct the sarf kabir of yatafarraqu, sarf kabir of yatafarraqu. Can I construct the sarf kabir of yatafarraqu? What is the sarf kabir? Sarf kabir is a full-blown present tense chart behind this word. It's a full-blown present tense chart behind this word. These formatting sometimes go completely crazy. Okay. Okay, so what would I construct? I would say yatafarraq. If I have to construct the present tense chart, yatafarraqa. Yatafarraqu. Sorry, not farraqa. No, farraqu. Yatafarraqu. Yansuru. Yansurani. Yansuruna, isn't it? Yansuru, Yansurani, Yansuruna, isn't it? So it would be yatafarraqani, yatafarraquna, isn't it? Yatafarraquna. Yatafarraqu, yatafarraqani, yatafarraquna. Now, if I take this one, the second one, this is which version? Huma version, isn't it? If I take the Huma version, If I take the Huma version here, I'll paste it here, and I put an in before it, and I put an in before it, this Huma version, and I put an in before it, the in before it. What is this in? What is this in? This is the lightest harf. This is the lightest harf. What will it do? It will make it lightest. It will make it lightest. How do we make it lightest? We remove this noon in the end, isn't it? We'll just remove it. You just remove this noon in the end. It will become yatafarraqa. Let's go back here. In yatafarraqa. Let's go back down here. In yatafarraqa. You see this? In yatafarraqa. Which form? Which pronoun is it? This is a huma version. Huwa, huma, hum. This is a huma version, and it is lightest. It is lightest because of the in. Because of the in. It is lightest because of the in coming before it. Okay, but we know this is a family 5 because it starts with a ya, it has a ta in the middle, it has a shadda with a fatha on it, and the pronoun is found because of this ending. Okay, I hope that's clear. Let's take a look at another example before we just a few, and then inshallah close the class. This is the same word, tatafarraqu. Tatafarraqu. In this case, this is a hum version. Sorry, this is the antum version because it starts with a ta. It starts with a ta, yes, and it has a ta of family 5. Then it has the shadda with the fatha on it. There's a shadda with a fatha on it. It has a ta of family 5 here. And this first ta is coming from the present tense antum. How do I know it's antum? How do I know it's antum? I know it's antum because of the una ending, and it is lightest. And it is lightest. Okay? This is antum because of the una ending. Because of the una ending. Okay? Okay? Good. The next one. Look at this one. Fatamassal. What does that sound like? Fatamassala. So this fa is a harf, meaning then or so, right? Now we're looking at the masala. We're not looking at this part. We're not looking at this harf. We're just looking at the masala. Oops. We're just looking at the masala. So we know it starts with a ta. If I did not know family 5, I would say, oh, it's an anta version. But it doesn't end with the u. It does not end with the u. It ends with a fatha, and it starts with a ta, and it has a shadda in the middle with a fatha on it. So it's gonna be a past tense huwa version family 5. Past tense huwa version family 5. You see that? Great. Alhamdulillah. So we've covered quite a lot today, alhamdulillah, and we have done some examples, and inshallah, if you do some practice, you will be able to get hold of this, and inshallah, things will become easier and easier as we go forward. So please make every effort to practice. Make every effort to practice. Do not give up on practice. Do not give up on practice. Put some effort. Again, I would tell you to just pursue your pursuit is important. Pursuit. How much effort you're putting in, how much intention you have to really, really learn, That is very, very important. And if you do it, I'm telling you, it is going to change your life, and it is going to completely open up for you. Don't give up. Okay, just put that pursuit, and inshallah ta'ala we'll keep on going together. I will share with you the notes. And sorry again for starting late and also now finishing late, because we started late. But I hope you found this class a bit productive and you understood what we did. Practice it, and inshallah tomorrow we're going to start with family 6. Until then, stay safe, stay blessed. Inshallah, help you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.